name is Deb, and I am a knitter and sometimes crocheter, and I sew. I have an Etsy shop at The Sensible Stitcher where I sell project bags, scrunchies, stitch markers, mostly project bags. I don't know, I've kind of been toying with the idea of doing a podcast or a video cast, just something to add to my YouTube channel. So we'll try this and see how it goes. Thought I would start off with what I've been working on knitting wise. I have a couple of projects here to show you. The first one is a pair of socks. I knit a lot of socks. I knit other things too, but a lot of socks. This pair I knit it's just a pair of vanilla socks. The yarn is Earth, U-R-T-H, Unique Sock. I think that's how you pronounce it. The colorway is just a number. It's just 61. And it comes as 2 balls pre-wound, which is nice. So you can do your socks 2 at a time if you like, which is how I do knit my socks. I knit 2 at a time, toe up. So this is how these are coming so far, and then I have put the heel into one of them so far. I need to do the other heel yet. This is kind of a unique yarn in that it's self-striping, but it goes through a color progression and it doesn't repeat. So like this little bit here is this gray and kind of light gray, and then it goes into this blue and kind of a light tan, and then from there it's going to go into this kind of a neon green stripes, and then it won't repeat. I think the end, if I look at this, is kind of a rust color. Kind of see in there in the middle and a little bit. So each progression, it moves through each progression, but it doesn't repeat them once it finishes one. So that's kind of interesting and kind of unique. I'm kind of curious. I may make these a little bit longer in the leg than I normally do, just to get into that last color progression if I'm not quite there yet. We'll see. These are in a project bag. This is one of the first ones that I made before I started my shop, but this is the wee bra bag, which is the first style of bag that I put in my shop, and I kind of like this one with the little woodland creatures. I've changed a couple of things about the way I make these since I made this bag a few years ago, but it's pretty similar to what you'll find in the shop nowadays. There's that. The second project I have is also in a bag that I made. I've changed a lot about how I make these particular bags in the shop. I have a larger strap on them now than this little tab here. But I do make zippered bags like this one. So in this bag, I have a sweater that I am currently working on. Pull this out here. This is the Opteka. I think that's probably how you pronounce it. O-P-T-E-K-A. It's by Isabel Kramer, and it's a top-down raglan construction. It's got this kind of nice little knit through the back loop design on the raglan increases here that I like, and then it also, down near the bottom, it's got some design with some traveling stitches. Obviously I'm not quite there yet. I am just to the point where I need to split for the sleeves, and I have not done that yet. I've been working on this on and off for probably about a year. I put it down to work on a different sweater and then never picked it back up over the winter and over the summer. So I've just picked it back up recently. The yarn for this one is Malabrigo Arroyo in the Reflecting Pool colorway. And because it's like a tonal type yarn, I am alternating skeins. I've got 2 different skeins, and you can tell looking at them that they are different enough that you need to do that. So that is coming along. Hopefully I should have time to split for the sleeves soon, and then I can just work on zooming down the body on that. I don't remember what size needles I am working on here. Let's see if I can read this. It's a 4mm, so a US 6. is what I am using for that. Oh, and the socks, I knit almost all of my socks on size 1s, 2.25 millimeters. Every so often I may go down to a 0 if it's a very thin sock yarn, or up to a 1.5, just kind of depends. Okay, so next would be crochet. I used to crochet a lot. I crocheted all through college and after college up until I started having kids. It started hurting my thumb right in through here about that time. So I stopped crocheting and then ended up switching to knitting, and that's when I really took off with the knitting. But I still crocheted a little bit here and there. But then a friend of mine got me turned on to doing amigurumi, which I've always wanted to try but hadn't really had the time. So just recently we got together and she showed me, reminded me of how to do the basic stitches and how to increase, and showed me how to increase and decrease. So I've been doing a few little amigurumi. This is one of the first ones I did, this little whale. He's very cute. I don't have his, I'll put the pattern information in the show notes. I just grabbed him at the last minute, so I didn't write that down. But what I have been working on lately are these Halloween bees. This is a pattern by Baby Cake Studios, and I've got this little guy that I finished. I made a couple of these for my oldest and sent them to them in college, but they're really cute with the little wings. And this little guy I worked on yesterday, he still needs the wings yet, but he's in progress. There's a whole set of them. This one I think is a a zombie bee, and then this one is a pumpkin bee, and then there's like skeleton bee and a zombie bee, and I forget all the rest of them, but there's a whole bunch of different, they're all the same pattern, but they're different color combinations. So I thought I'd make a full set of those as a Halloween decoration because they're really cute. Anyway, so that's it for the knitting and the crocheting right now. I have one more pair of socks I'm working on, but they're just vanilla socks. I'm not going to show them to you right now. They're my purse take-along project, so they get worked on just a little bit at a time. So I'll show you those to you at another time. Coming up, I do have a few things that I would like to make. I'd like to make the Millie Margaret shawl by Jennifer Lassonde from Down Cellar Studios podcast. That's a pattern that it has a like a tonal or a solid middle, and then the two ends of it are done in self-striping yarn, so that when you wrap it around, you can see the self-striping. And I thought it's a really good use of self-striping yarn for something other than socks. You put the socks on your feet, obviously not everybody sees them, so I thought this would be fun to do, to use as a scarf this winter. And then once I finish this sweater, I have a couple of others in mind that I'd like to do as well. But I'm still kind of thinking about that. Yeah. Anyway, so next is sewing. And what I've been sewing lately are project bags for my shop. I generally do this type of, these two types of bags, the wee bra bag that has the 4 outside pockets on it with a drawstring, or the zippered wedge bags. But the past couple of weeks I've started working on a new type of bag for the shop. Sorry, I'm looking over here, grabbing my stuff out of my pile. I wanted to make a bag that's just simple and easy and small. There are a lot of times when I just want something to throw in a bag, to throw in my purse, to take a small project with me somewhere. And so that's what I'm calling this my simple sock bag. It is perfect size for like a sock project. It fits a skein of sock yarn in here with your needles and your project. I have some pictures in the Etsy listings. I'll put a picture in here of what it looks like with a ball of yarn inside. It's fully lined, and it has a drawstring with a cord lock on it, so it's not going to open on you and dump your project somewhere. So do that. You can open here. It also has a tab on it so that you can connect a carabiner or a key ring, anything you want to use to connect it. If you want to hang it from your belt, work on your project, or hang it from your purse or a tote, you can do that. This bag is not interfaced. It's meant to be scrunched down so it's foldable, easy to store when you're not using it. You can put it very small. It's also, you know, so that you can just squish it, throw in it in a larger bag. It does, I don't know if you can see this, it does stand up on its own a little bit, but if you have a ball of yarn in it, it should stand up just fine. I've got this design with these teal arrows and a couple of different lining fabrics in the shop, and then just recently added this style with the fall autumn with the autumn leaves on the inside and the red trim on top. And again, same thing. It's got the drawstring and the cord lock. So same style. And then the ones that I'm working on right now that aren't in the shop quite yet, but I'll give you a sneak peek, are for Halloween, candy corn. And then they have the black with the orange dots on the inside and on the little tab. So these are mostly done. They just need top stitching and a drawstring. And then I'm going to do a couple of bags in the zipper style also with that fabric. So there'll be a couple of coordinating larger bags. I call those, these bags, this is a bigger one. I call this my shawl size. I have a smaller one that's my sock size. Because it's a good size for 2 at a time socks or, you know, larger sock project like I like to use. Although I think I can probably fit 2 at a time socks in one of these as well, although it's intended for someone who does socks 1 at a time. Just because, again, I wanted it to be small and simple. The other style of bag, or more of a pouch, that I have in the shop are, I do these little notions pouches. They're just zippered. You could use them for, you know, for knitting or crocheting notions. You could also use them for, you know, your credit cards, that kind of thing, money, like a little wallet. These have a little tab also, and I do put a key ring on them when I ship them out. This one is in this cute owl fabric. There is a matching bag in the drawstring, this style, in the shop in this fabric right now as well. And then it's got the little polka dots on the inside. The other things that I have in the shop are scrunchies. You all know what scrunchies look like, but I have some in various styles. I do a lot of Michigan. I live in Michigan, so I do a